What if I told you that there's one practice that, when done correctly, will give you everything you've ever wanted in an instant, right here, right now? That practice is Akhanda Brahmacharya and entails sublimation of all your sexual impulses in word, thought, and deed. When doing this, you will gain many supernatural benefits. Those begin with the benefits that most on Nofap have come to experience, but when Akhanda Brahmacharya is practiced, the benefits expand to include things that are out of this world. I cannot bring a lot of these experiences into words, but I will do my best here to explain them on the level of mind. Nofap and Brahmacharya are great. If you start on this path, you will look better, you will feel better, and you will be more in control of your life. I think we've all experienced at least some form of these benefits, but sadly, there are many benefits that most have never experienced and will probably never get to experience. I did another video on why most people will never experience these. I will link that at the end in case you are interested in the why of the matter, but for now, let's see what those benefits are. In the beginning, you usually start Nofap to kick the porn addiction and improve your life. If the addiction does not suck you back in, then you usually experience a whole slew of what I call worldly benefits. The more you do Nofap, the more benefits you will see, and the stronger the benefits are as the newly found good habits solidify as a part of your new life. To be clear, these worldly benefits are not the benefits that most do not experience, as almost everyone in the Nofap community who lasts long enough gets to enjoy these. But these worldly benefits are just the beginning for the lucky few who progress further. In the early Nofap phase, you can expect to feel more energy because fapping kills your energy. We're just not evolutionarily hardwired to deal with what happens to your body and psyche when you fap. Before porn, you would have interactions with women, and your game, status, and so on would determine the outcome. If you progress to the point where you are having sex with 10 supermodels, you are already at the pinnacle of success, game, and so on. Your mind would tell your body that you are deserving of and able to have a little time to relax if you chose. Nowadays, when you fap to 10 pictures of 10s, your brain, after the mega dopamine hit it gets, subconsciously tells your body that you are already at the pinnacle of success and ready to step back for a little bit. And this is what it tells your body subconsciously, as your brain has not evolutionarily adjusted to the whole PMO setup. Porn has only been around for 70 years, while humans have evolved for around 2 million. We are not equipped physically and mentally to handle what this does to you. To add insult to injury, you constantly drain your testosterone, and your body releases prolactin every time you ejaculate, which drains you. The worse you have the addiction, the more it affects you. This is why people who fap lack motivation and are generally weaker, both physically and psychologically. They lack the motivation to do anything else because porn is an addiction that sucks them in, and these negative effects are compounding. Instead of focusing on chasing excellence, they are battered by this addiction. When you start Nofap, the first thing you notice is that you have more energy, and also more time to do productive things. As you can really only be successful on this when you completely commit to bettering yourself in all regards, you will also look healthier and more attractive to women, both because your physical health improves as you work out and your testosterone normalizes. Also, your general demeanor will become more masculine as you lose the apathetic old self that was always drained by fapping. You will have a better dating life as you are able to demand the attention of everyone who enters your periphery, and the approach anxiety literally vanishes somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks of recovery. For most fappers, better dating life means that you actually have a dating life now, and this is just the beginning. So if you are not yet satisfied in your dating life, trust me, you still have work to do at this point, and as you chase excellence and better yourself, your dating life will continue to improve as well. Another one of the improvements that you will experience on Nofap is that you will have more money and be able to generate more money. As you embark on the Nofap journey, you will have way more time and energy to put to productive use. You will also lose the brain fog that made you unable to concentrate and actually accomplish things in the material plane. As your dopaminergic response system adjusts to not fapping, you will also begin to feel good when you do productive things, and this pattern reinforces itself. You wanted to start a business before but didn't have time? Well, now you do. And you are also more capable, both mentally and socially, to bring this about. You wanted to take a class to up your skill set before, but didn't have the time and were scared you wouldn't be able to learn the new skill set? Well, now you're going to find that learning that skill set was a breeze, and you still have extra time to fill in with other stuff when you are done doing that. I can't stress enough how much your material world will improve on Nofap as your time opens up, your energy and abilities also increase, and on Nofap you are now healthier, smarter, more active, more energetic, and all around more capable. And with all of this, as you put a dent in the world and create new things that help people, your status will go up and your dating life will also improve. These worldly benefits feed off of each other and all improve in synchrony. It doesn't happen overnight, but it indeed will change your world. These worldly benefits will be experienced by all who do Nofap, and you probably already know about these, more or less. But there is another world of benefits that most do not get to experience. These benefits may or may not begin on the semen retention journey, but they are for sure experienced and maximized on Akhanda Brahmacharya or God mode, and extending this practice to word and thought as well as deed. And while you actually begin to care less about the worldly benefits on God mode, you actually will benefit even more in this regard if you choose to, because the spiritual benefits that I am about to mention give you supernatural abilities that put you ahead in every regard. Money, for example, won't even matter when you get to this level. The first spiritual benefit is that of energy. I know that this was mentioned before as a worldly benefit of Nofap, but with semen retention and God mode, you get way more energy. Semen is the elixir of life. It is used to make a new life form, and if conserved, within 2 weeks it will start redistributing its cells and energy throughout your body to form the healthiest brain cells, body cells, and muscle mass. This all happens way more than a normal Nofapper who expels will ever experience. Someone on retention or Brahmacharya can sleep less and function better than the average person would with 8 hours of sleep on about 4 hours of sleep. They can work non-stop without burning out, and every hour of work is as productive as a day of work would be for a normal person. And the Brahmachari is experiencing better bliss than any orgasm right in the heart the entire time they are working. Your inner self will guide you and give you the resources to do work that is fulfilling and serves humanity. All happening naturally with no friction. But there is another dimension of energy that a regular Nofapper will never come close to if they are ejaculating in sex, and that is pure spiritual energy, or ojas. What we are is divine conscious energy. You think you are a body. Well, whose body is it? The answer to that question is the real you. Somewhere between 30 to 40 days, the semen begins to move upward in your chakra system. When you were constantly expelling your semen, your energy stagnated in your lower Muladhara chakra center. But as you preserve more and more, the energy starts to move upward. This begins at 30 to 40 days and takes a slow course of an average of 12 years until the energy has moved all the way up and is now stagnant in the Brahmachari's Sahasrara chakra, the Medha Nadi has formed, and the aspirant has now attained enlightenment or God realization. It can happen faster for some and slower for some, but one thing is clear. An Akhanda Brahmachari who has not spilled a drop of semen for 12 years will realize their true self. In fact, without any other spiritual practice, it is said that just doing 12 years of retention will get you to this state. The cosmic joke behind that statement lies in the fact that no one can actually retain that long without spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is to semen retention what self-improvement is to Nofap. Most won't succeed on Nofap without all around improving their life, as you are doomed to Fap if you don't improve your overall situation, and one cannot actually retain for 12 years without doing spiritual practice, as you are doomed to expel if you do not actively sublimate the energy. I learned this the hard way myself. I learned about Nofap 6 or so years ago and was always into spiritual practice on and off, but was not nearly as rigorous. When I heard that one can attain enlightenment by not expelling for 12 years, I began retention. But I was still dating and would always fall between a week or two. Then I learned about Akhanda Brahmacharya and began practicing. When I did this, I was able to retain for super long periods because my thoughts and even speech was sublimated. I'm not a monk or hermit and did meet women, which led to my downfall a few times, but I don't ever fap anymore. Even when I am dating and not on God mode, I don't ejaculate often, and trained myself to orgasm without ejaculating by using Taoist practices. Yes, a man can orgasm without ejaculating, and we can even have multiple orgasms as well. Obviously, this doesn't count as Brahmacharya, so I'll do another video on Taoist practices and retention. But on this topic, suffice it to say that for me, if I don't practice Brahmacharya in word, thought, as well as deed, I don't stand the chance of retaining for long periods. All the other spiritual benefits happen as a side effect of the Ojas formation and the formation of the Medha Nadi. Ojas is formed in the nerve currents of the body, and as it stores and forms, the practitioner will experience superpowers. First superpower goes without saying that most will have a superhuman ability to control their mind, especially on sexual matters. Women will flock to you on God mode. I don't know if it is an attraction thing or a safety thing because I'm not looking at them. Women have social super senses. They can just tell when guys are checking them out. And for sure on Nofap and retention, you get higher standards and thus look less, and that affects your attraction in game, etc. I did a video on why everyone should do Nofap where I delve into all that more. If you want to hear about that, you can look there, but in terms of God mode and what happens on women's end, it is hard for me to say because I pay zero attention. But on God mode, I can sense before they flock to me. This is just one matter, but you do gain a super sense of warning on sexual matters. In general, you can predict them on TV, talking with friends and so on, and you can use your mechanisms to evade the situation before it even happens. The second superpower is a sense of clairvoyance. This begins with things like just being able to read people's intentions. You never know if what you are thinking is right in this regard, but when you do God mode, your intuition becomes sharp. And with time and learning the people that you engage with, you find out that your sixth sense was actually always correct. But you aren't approaching it from a what can I get out of this person or how can I protect myself from this person point of view. Instead, you're coming from a more how can I help this person point of view. Somehow, your own intentions become pure on God mode. The empty things that used to drive you are no longer a part of you as God is slowly taking up the driver's seat and you merely have to enjoy the ride. Clairvoyance will increase with time, but it begins with what I've described. As your Medha Nadi slowly forms and your Ojas develops, you will increasingly be able to read the world as it is and understand people. You will be able to predict things. Information will come to you at the most random times and you will just know that it is right and exactly how to act on it. Nikola Tesla, a noted brahmachari, when asked where he got his ideas from, said, "I leave a notepad out at night when I sleep, and when I wake up, the ideas are written on it." Now this may have been literal or more figurative. If figurative, I totally get it, as I sometimes wake up with a lot of the ideas that bring me success, and sometimes they even just come as random thoughts when I'm contemplating. Not like the barrage of heady thoughts that our mind spits out, but they are almost like singular thoughts that float in from the actual source of the mind. As you do God mode and your clairvoyance increases, yourself will start shining from within. You just feel it. And at the apex and your final realization, you will attain the ultimate knowledge of all things. Some will have abilities to teleport and some will raise the dead. You don't know what divine qualities you will give yourself, but one thing is certain. You will become that from which your ego arises. Or, I should say, you will realize that from which your ego arises. And that is God itself. And on the way there, as most will not reach that ultimate goal in this life, your desires will cease to exist. You will always be 100% in the eternal here and now, and you will love everyone and everything with every cent of your being. Pleasure and pain will be bad memories, as you are and always will be pure bliss as you approach eternity. And if you do Akhanda Brahmacharya, your ability to retain longer will increase as you train your soul and desensitize it from its old vasanas or tendencies. We all have tendencies and are all bound to destiny, but an Akhanda Brahmachari who has practiced for 12 years will no longer be bound to destiny and tendencies. And from 30 to 40 days in, all the way up to the finish, you are burning your karma and tendencies. As you merge with the infinite, you will simply be as you are, and you will be in bliss regardless of how your external world changes. It is wonderful, and you will achieve things that you never even thought possible. But I urge everyone, Don't take my word for it. Try it out for yourself and see. After all, nothing can really be proven until we experience it. This world is not real. For something to be real, it has to be permanent. And for proof of something, we have to experience it. We have never experienced the permanence of this world because when we sleep, the world disappears every night. For me to accept someone else's word that the world was still there when I slept just because they said it doesn't suffice. In actuality, I have no proof that this world is real, and I have no proof that I am real because I disappear every night as well. That said, I'm doing everything in my power to find out the truth, and as I am doing, I am experiencing, and my faith builds that there is more to this reality than meets the eye. I suggest you apply my logic on the world being illusory to all my claims on Akhanda Brahmacharya and its benefits. I suggest you verify by doing and experiencing yourself. Otherwise, you don't really know. It isn't easy, and you may have slips or setbacks, but every effort in this regard will permeate your infinite course for the better. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all the bells and whistles if you're into my content, and I'll see you next time.